Hello everyone, welcome back to Nascent Toy Collector, presented by Infinite Collectibles in Paducah, Kentucky. I'm Adam Martin, co-owner of Infinite Collectibles, and today is MotU Monday. And as such, I'm gonna check out this badass King Grayskull, as seen on Netflix in the 2021 original series, Masters of the Universe Revelation. This was my actual first interaction with this character. And I thought that he was great. I mean, Dennis Haysbert, the Allstate guy, or to some of us, me included, he is President Palmer from 24. He'll always be President Palmer, and I would vote for him right fucking now. Anyway, that's who voiced him, Dennis Haysbert, and that guy just oozes badass. Perfect casting, in my honest opinion. Now, I know that some were offended. I had just come back to MotU by doing research for an episode of our podcast called The Blitzkrieg Pop on Masters of the Universe Revelation. I've been a Kevin Smith fan since like 7th or 8th grade, so, that's like back in the mid-90s. I thought, watching the show, that it was great to see the man who the champions called on for their power. When they say, by the power of Grayskull, this is the guy. This is the dude. This is Grayskull. And there he was. Now, I've since learned, because now I'm neck deep in Masters of the Universe history and lore, because I really enjoy it, that King Grayskull first appeared, he debuted in 2002's He-Man and the Masters of the Universe, or as fans call it, 2000X, or MYP, because it was produced by Mike Young Productions, MYP. Now, for anyone not familiar with 2000X, it's a fantastic show, if a bit extreme, and it really can't be helped. The names, everyone calls it 2000X, and that's because some of the character designs, the things are, extreme, like X Games, like, the end of the 90s into the 2000s when, everything's like, the proportions are off and things are really jagged and edgy, and it's absolutely a product of its time, like He-Man's snake armor. Check that out. It's very, it's got that, it's Christmas colored for some reason, but it's only covering one shoulder, and it's cool. But anyway, it really is a good show. Cam Clark, the voice of 1987 TMNT Leonardo, voices He-Man, and the storytelling is very, very much an update on classic Filmation. Great stuff. Back to King Grayskull, though. So we see this guy for the first time in the 2002 show, and he looked just like He-Man. So, when we see him in Revelation, all I can say is that it hurt some feelings. I don't know myself, not mine. It didn't bother me at all. Like I said, I was new to the character, and then having watched 2000X, this still doesn't bother me. But him being a black guy somehow ruffled a lot of feathers. I don't know how it made people mad, but it did. Anyway, my intro to him was seeing him in The Great Hunt, in that episode of the Revelation show, with the other champions, and he's riding a fucking cyborg Triceratops. Now, how could that get better? And if you're not down with Bionatops, we're not friends, because nothing beats cybernetically enhanced dinosaurs. Like, need I say that again? Nothing beats cybernetically enhanced dinosaurs, and Grayskull was able to ride one as like a pet. So that, for me, that's my introduction to this character. Even though I've went back and I've watched the 2000X series, and it's great, and I love it, and I think everyone should watch 2000X because it's an awesome take on Filmation, I still think there was nothing wrong with this, and absolutely everything about He-Man screams multiverse, and this is no different. So anyway, as you can see, this is a deluxe figure, the larger box, the bigger window, and you know what? Let's just jump into this guy. Look at that Revelation logo. It's awesome. On the side here, it reads King Grayskull. heroic ancestor of He-Man, and I guess that's what pissed some people off. I mean, whatever, right? Now, on this side, we get this awesome artwork that I think is on every one of these packages. You get this badass, I mean, look at him with the Sword of Power there. Man, that's so just great looking. And it looks just straight out of the animation of the show, and so does this. Look at that. You get the cross-sell. I love a cross-sell. I don't know, that just takes me back to the days of yore with the cross-sell, showing you what else was available at the time. Now, this was a Target exclusive, and I have to give my boy Alan Richard a shout out here, because Alan, you told me about the Target app, and if I hadn't downloaded the app, I would never have known that King Grayskull was on sale. At the time I ordered him, which there still may be a chance to do that, I ordered the Savage He-Man, King Grayskull, and I pre-ordered the New Adventures He-Man. That's a Target exclusive, so you guys can jump on there right now if you're interested in New Adventures He-Man. There is a Masterverse version that is exclusive to Target, just like King Grayskull is. I think King Grayskull was a Target exclusive. God, this artwork is awesome. My only thing is, did he ever actually come in contact with the two halves of the sword? In my recollection, he never did. We'll get into that in just a minute, but I can't wait to just tear into this guy. So what I think we ought to do is jump right in. Let's do it right now. Wow, I have to say, he is majestic. Look at that. Wow, man, that looks awesome. I love the fur tufts on the top of the cape here, just like he appeared in the show. Now, I will say, this should match this and his boot fur, and as you guys can see, I hope the video is showing, the colors don't exactly match. I feel like in the show, he's only in like 1.5 episodes, but in the show, the fur on his shoulders matches his loincloth, which matches his boot fur. And here it's just a little bit off. Now I know that's nitpicking, but I'm allowed a little nitpick, right? Just a little one, just a little bitty one. I'm allowed a little nitpick. Anyway, I will say, I have had an absolute problem with keeping his chest armor on, you guys. I have fixed this since I pulled him out of the box. I fixed it no less than 3 times, and it's really starting to kind of piss me off. I don't know why it keeps wanting to come off. I think it's because the way that this is done, right? So the furry tops to his cape, which his cape's badass, but I'm not there yet. They're velcroed on, as you can see there. Hopefully, I don't know if you can see that or not. It's hard to see. I know. Look at this really awesome looking dude here. But you can see that. Okay, there it is. It's velcroed on through the straps of his armor. And what keeps happening is, as I'm messing with the armor and the straps, well, I'm messing with the straps. I'm not messing with the armor at all. It keeps loosening the straps. So I keep having to jump in here. It's come off twice. As you can see that, look at that one right there. It's about to pull out. That's about to pop loose right there. I hope that you guys don't have that same problem with this figure, because that's really actually getting on my nerves there. I've never had one do this. No other figure in the Masterverse has given me that kind of issue. Anyway, let's just go over everything here. And before we look at his accoutrements, we will check him out. Man, he looks pretty awesome. That angry face, I don't know if that's my favorite sculpt, but it's nice though. Look at that. Really looks good. Flipping him around. He's got the ponytail and the hair holder just like he had in the show. Now see, okay, here's what's going on. These need to go forward. They need to rock forward over his shoulders. And as I raise them, they're going to want to see that right there. They're going to want to undo his armor, and I do not want that to happen. So I need to push them up. These need to be shoulder pads, really, is what they are. And I'm having some real issues there. See, look at that. It has undone this one completely. And that's really getting on my nerves. Man. What is a toy review, though, if I don't show you the flaws, right? I hate this tag, too, by the way. This tag is stupid. It's like a shirt tag on a cape. Like, fuck off. For real? I'm not looking at washing instructions for fucking King Grayskull's cape. Eat shit. Anyway, back to the figure. Man, gosh damn it. Pull around there. I really do like everything about him. He looks great. His ponytail looks awesome. He's got it really kind of stands out as his King Grayskull logo that's on his armor here. kind of sort of on his back here on his head. It looks really awesome. Hair is sculpted really nicely. I really do dig this cape. This cape has wires in it. Kind of like, reminds me of like a Spawn cape where you can make it like pose. Like you can pose the cape. Okay, check that out. That's really badass. You can do it like that. You could have it like, you know, up. Oh shit. You could have it up. You know, really cool. You could do some really dynamic posing with the wire that is included in this cape, which is really nice. I wish all capes were like that. It's actually really cool. Really dig that feature. I'm not, however, in love with this armor. Again, it's trying to pop off there. Let me check it over here. Okay. All right. Anyway, this Grayskull figure looks awesome. Now, I'm not in love with this face sculpt, although it doesn't look bad. It actually really does look a lot like what we get on screen, and I know that's really hard to see there. Let me see if I can straighten that up a little bit. There it is. It really does look a lot like what we see on screen, which is really cool because I really enjoyed him. Even though he's very brief, I enjoyed what we saw of him. Him telling Tila that Adam was the only one that chose to be his lesser self in his afterlife. You know, I thought that was really cool. Really nice little added little bonus. But anyway, we're here to talk about this figure and not about Revelation. This is a classic Masterverse. This is in the Masterverse line, and it has all the Masterverse points of articulation, like 30 plus, they say. His head is hindered slightly because of his ponytail. His ponytail is like, it's not hard, it's very flexible, but it does hang over the top of his cape. So it makes his head, I mean, it has a little bit of up and down, but as you can see there, it's very limited. Now, left and right, it's also limited by that cape. I mean, but the cape's badass. So it's like, is it okay that the cape limits it? I'm going to say yes. I'm going to say it's absolutely okay that the cape limits the head movement because of how badass it looks. Those shoulder pads look awesome. So that's okay in my book. Now, he has the classic, you know, his shoulders can go 360 degrees. He has the bicep swivel, as is obviously kind of standard for these male figures. He has the 3-part elbow that can bend in both places here. Now, his biceps are so big that he can't really flex that second one, but that's okay. The fact that it's there is cool. I don't really get that worried about articulation. He has the swivel in his wrist, and he has the hinge at his wrist, of course. There is no swivel at the elbow, which is fine with me. He has the crunch joint. He has the waist joint, right? Thighs. He has the thigh swivel. He has the really, really nice hip movement, if that's what you're going for. He has the 3-part knee, which I've said a million times. I absolutely love it. He has the boot swivel. And he has forward, backward rocking, and side to side on his ankles. And, you know, yeah, he's a very modern toy. I really dig his articulation. And of course, he has great paint deco. His belt looks great. His loincloth, like I said, the colors don't exactly match, but that's okay. I do like his little bracers here. Now his bracers do not slip off if you pull his hand out, because, you know, of course, these are changeable hands. His bracers don't move, so they're actually attached, and they're not going to come off, so you don't have to worry about that. And like I said, I think it's really cool to have the guy, when they say by the power of Grayskull, this is him, this is the dude, and I think that makes this figure special. I really do. Now, of course, fuck, do you see that? Now look at that, armor's off. See that? Completely undone. Armor's completely undone. Fuck. Okay, so first up is the variant head. Like all Masterverse figures, it comes with a variant head that's in a really more calm, I would say. Like he's not, you know, screaming or angry or whatever. It's a really nice looking sculpt. And honestly, I think, you know what? Let's just pop it off. Let's pop this head off. Gah! There it is. There's that ball. Pop this head on. And I'm totally losing his shoulder pads, and I'm sure the armor is going to come totally loose again. Oh my gosh, it's almost stayed hooked. As you can see, it's trying to come off. I'll try to get that back on there. Holy shit. Okay, armor back, and there he is. And I think that looks a lot more kingly. This is the vibe. The vibe that he puts off in the show is the vibe of calm, patient, understanding. This guy knows he's a badass, and so things just don't affect him. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is the kind of character that just knows that he's in charge, like a Panthro. Anyway, I like that head a lot better. The head that came on him is not bad, though. I mean, it's a nice looking head. It's a nice looking sculpt. Angry face, you know, looks fine. You cannot, however, pose him very well without the cape on, because the hair really stands out backwards. As you can see, like, it comes way off the back of his head, so that you can so it fits over this. And so he doesn't look very good without the shoulder pads, which I was going to try that since his armor keeps trying to fall off, but never mind. Not going to do that. All right. He came with 2 hands, 1 open, which is absolutely in line with all the other Masterverse figures. And he has a punching fist, which is pretty standard too. Now, he did come with 2 gripping fists and also 2 halves of the power sword. Now, if you're familiar at all with Revelation's storyline, Teela and Andra are trying to reassemble the Sword of Power that was cleaved in twain, and they need the help of Roboto. And so here's the thing. Okay, 2 things, really. Seeing these 2 pieces reminds me of 2000X and the sword that Skeletor carries. That's basically the 2 pieces kind of put together into one sword. Reminds me, of course, again of the Savage Eternia and the 2 pieces of the power sword that you had to have between He-Man and Skeletor to make a complete power sword. So this is awesome. You have the gold hilt and you have the purple hilt. Good, bad, He-Man, Skeletor. And the fact that they're 2 pieces that make the same, you know, like good and bad are just 2 sides of the same sword, and you can kind of even see the pieces of the hilt there and how they would go together to form the Sword of Power, and it's really awesome. My thing is, and I'm not bitching, but I feel like, I know this is a deluxe Grayskull figure, and it's awesome, and I think that's great, and I think it's super cool, but these 2 swords, I think, would have been better served coming with Roboto. I think they could have made a Roboto deluxe figure with him with his chest open or something, where he's reforging the 2 swords together to make the power sword again. I don't know why, having recently rewatched King Grayskull's episodes, that these 2 pieces of sword would come with King Grayskull. He actually never handles either of them. Now, he does give out sage-like advice, but he does not handle either piece of the Sword of Power. So it's a strange inclusion, although it looks great on the box art there, and it obviously is going to look cool in his hands. I just don't know that these accessories make sense for King Grayskull. My opinion, and that's okay if I'm wrong. Feel free to chime in the comments. Let me know what you guys think. Fuck. All right, so there they are. They look great in his hands, no doubt. Look at that, man. I think this is an awesome, awesome figure. I think I've said that like 10 times already, but man, it really does have a really great look to it. I get why they would give him the 2 swords of power. When I look at it, when I see the 2 halves in his hands, I go, yeah, this totally makes sense. But does it though? I would much rather see these included with Roboto. That's just me. They do look cool here. Now, he also comes with a shield, and it has his logo on it, which is awesome. He has the King Grayskull chest logo on the shield, and it has a really nice silver plastic with the gold, and then it has the brick red in there, and it looks really cool. And I could take his hand out and put the open hand in, and that way it would be able to slide in. Oops. And kind of hold on to the shield. I'm not going to display him that way. I'm actually not going to display him with any weapons, because in the show, like I said, he he didn't handle any weapons. He just told Adam, hey man, if you leave, you're not gonna be able to come back. And I think, it served as a really nice moment to show that Prince Adam was willing to sacrifice whatever it took to save Eternia and the people that lived there. And I think it was really awesome. I really enjoyed seeing King Grayskull. I really dig this figure. I can't wait to put him on display with the rest of my masters. And man, yeah, I'm ready for more. I want to see, out of Masterverse, I really want to see the Skeletor wearing the Horde armor. There's the scene where Evelyn is running through the streets, and it's like a flashback for Evelyn, kind of like her origin, and she's running down this alleyway, and Skeletor steps through a portal and kind of rescues her, and we see Skeletor in this black and red armor with the Horde logo all over it. I would love to see that. I think that would be a great Masterverse figure. I'm really excited to see, I know they have Evelyn when she was powered up coming, and I'm definitely going to pick that one up. I cannot wait. I love this Masterverse line, and what I really like, look, I love Origins. I'm absolutely enthralled with Origins as well. I've been buying those as well, but the thing is, I can't open their packaging and then put them back in it. With Masterverse, I can open these up and still I can put them back in, because I'm not completely an open only, and I'm not an inbox. I'm not a loose. I'm not a MOC. I'm just somewhere in between. It just depends on the figure and stuff, but I have a hard time opening Origins when I don't have something loose to replace it. Anyway, that's my video. Please hit like, as when you hit that thumbs up, I know it seems like an arbitrary little thing to do, but it helps my videos show up in other people's feeds, people that are interested in the same kinds of things that you are. It helps that show up. If you'll hit that like, that'll do me a huge favor. If you'll hit subscribe, that'll be great, because I'm trying to get to 200. I'm at 185. I would love to get it up to 200, just because, I don't know, it kind of feels good. And thank you so much for tuning in. You guys are the shit. Peace out. Have a great week.